I'm feeling very self-conscious.
Over the years, Vanessa Simmons has not only made a name for herself in Hollywood, but she has also built an empire while sharing her wellness journey with the world. But it wasn't always all sunshine and rainbows. There was a moment, or more specifically a phone call, that changed everything for her, and not exactly in the way you'd expect. When this life-changing phone call reached her, Vanessa was on a major self-care kick. But what happened next changed her whole world. What was this phone call? And why is Vanessa speaking about it now? When this all went down, Vanessa was reconnecting with her roots in her childhood house in New Jersey. She was working on herself, recharging and rediscovering what made her happy. But just as she was starting to feel aligned and centered, life threatened the progress she had been making. A director called with an offer she quite literally couldn't refuse for a very interesting new project. But of course, there was a catch. He told her that she needed to lose 10 to 15 pounds to secure the role. Of course, actors change their appearances for roles all the time. But it's one thing to get into method acting because you've researched the part and decided it was the best idea. And it's a completely different thing to have a director body shame you before you even read the script. And this is where Vanessa faced a difficult choice. She could have let that call crush her. She could have spiraled into self-doubt or thrown in the towel. She could have destroyed all her self-improvement work to fit into this one role. Instead, she decided to turn into a catalyst for growth. As Vanessa put it herself, this wasn't about pleasing the director or even the weight. It was about accountability and showing up for herself in a way that felt empowering, not degrading. Vanessa tackled this challenge with incredible grace, especially considering where she was mentally when this call happened. Sadly, women receive unwanted comments about their bodies all the time. But this one request from this insensitive director got to Vanessa at a particularly bad time. It wasn't a coincidence that she decided to focus on self-care that summer. She'd been struggling physically and emotionally for a long time. High cortisol levels from stress had taken a toll, not just on her body, but also on her mindset. She knew that something had to change, so she got intentional. She concentrated on figuring out who she wanted to be. What did she want to do? What did she want to have? Those 3 questions guided her, pushing her to dig deep and figure out what really mattered to her, not just professionally, but also as a human being. And with that clarity, Vanessa got to work. While she was polite and didn't lash out, she didn't let the director's comments drag her to a dark place either. It's easy to think about diets or crash workouts when someone talks about self-care or self-improvement, but that wasn't what her summer was about. Vanessa prioritized her physical and emotional well-being, not for the sake of her appearance, but for the sake of her quality of life. She prioritized sleep, hit the gym, and spent plenty of time in the sauna to reset her nervous systems. And this might surprise you, but reading actually played a big role in her journey. There were 2 books that Vanessa considered life-changing: Power Moves by Sarah Jakes Roberts and On Thriving, Harnessing Joy Throughout Life's Great Labors by Brandy Sellers Jackson. Vanessa raved about these books and how they helped her become more confident, not just outward confidence, but true, genuine confidence in herself. By the time that director's call came, Vanessa was already on the right path. So while it was, of course, upsetting, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. If it had reached her a few months before, it could have crushed her. But this time, it wasn't enough to break her spirit. Instead, it became another reason for her to work on herself. By the right way, not through quick fixes to get to the weight goal and get apart. That wouldn't have been sustainable in the long run, and she knew that. So she went the holistic route with methods that prioritized her health over the numbers on a scale. She incorporated electrical muscle stimulation into her routine, a high-tech fitness method that improves strength, posture, and circulation while also boosting mood. She also focused on her digestive health and made sure to account for cheat days. She wasn't trying to completely take the fun out of food. A treat every once in a while is not a bad thing, and she wasn't going to be ashamed for it. Lastly, she started getting lymphatic massages to get rid of her body toxins. As a bonus, the massages also supported her digestion and left her feeling amazing. And while she wasn't doing it for that, Vanessa ended up hitting the director's goal in just 30 days. Amazing, right? Or it would have been if, after all her hard work, she'd at least gotten the part. As Vanessa said, you gotta love Hollywood, right? But while it might seem frustrating and even infuriating to think about everything that she did, seemingly for nothing, let's not forget that while Vanessa wanted that role, she had been working on herself long before that. So when looking back on that time, she feels grateful, not angry. That summer was about learning to hold herself accountable and prioritize her well-being in a way she hadn't before. not about hitting a weight goal. She would have gotten this far with or without the director's expectations. That fateful call was just the last push she needed to fully commit to a sustainable lifestyle that increased her confidence, her happiness, and her mental and physical health. Vanessa also made sure not to neglect the spiritual side. She turned to scripture and daily affirmations to keep herself grounded and focused. Those affirmations reminded her every day that she was enough and she had a purpose, even if her vision was clouded at times. Vanessa also embraced meditation, and she quickly found that those sessions helped her find peace, even in the middle of all the chaos. With a healthy body and a calm mind, the next step in Vanessa's journey was giving back to her community. While obviously everyone can benefit from learning what she did, Vanessa was specifically eager to help young women navigate their own paths. This passion led her to host the Collective Identity, a wellness retreat in partnership with Ethica. Her goal was to create a safe space for young Black women to set intentions, focus on their mental and physical health, and feel empowered to tackle their goals. In the event, she shared everything that she had learned, from the physical techniques to the mindsets that helped her. And seeing the impact her advice had left her feeling incredibly fulfilled. That director's call was a wake-up call for Vanessa in every sense. It was a true test because things could have gone very differently after she got it. But she was wise enough that she knew that she needed to think about the bigger picture, building a life rooted in intention, authenticity, and resilience. Everyone has those moments when life throws them a curveball. It's how people respond to them that matters. Everyone will have their own idea of what wellness means to them, and as long as it makes you feel good about yourself and you're safe, no one gets to make you feel bad about it. And if you ever receive a comment like the one Vanessa received, learn from her and use it to lift yourself up. Anyway, what do you guys think about all this? What's your take on Vanessa's journey? And what are your thoughts on that controversial phone call? Let me know in the comments below.